What was the vibe at Death Row during like the final few weeks leading up to Pac's passing? Because there was a lot of transition that was happening. Dre had already left, right? Everyone else was more or less around. Snoop was still around and so forth. He would leave next. But there was people coming in. Left Eye was one of them. MC Hammer.
Not at that time. Left
No?
Eye wasn't coming in at that time.
Okay. Hammer?
Left Eye came in later.
MC Hammer?
MC Hammer was there. Yeah, he had already been there.
So you had MC Hammer coming around. Was Mary J. Blige kind of floating around at that point? Jodeci was definitely around. So it was like people who were associated with Puffy were now becoming managed by Suge and that type of thing.
Yeah.
So what was that vibe like at the end?
Towards the end, it was really a lot of us. Johnny J at that time had also decided to part ways over some business disagreements.
Johnny J, he wasn't getting paid for his songs?
So that's why you don't hear any Johnny J on Makaveli. There's no Johnny J production on Makaveli after him and Pac, was on a run, back-to-back hits. But there was some.
What had happened? He wasn't getting paid?
I don't know. It was business-wise, and usually when it comes to business, it's probably money. You know what I'm saying? He probably was expecting some money from All Eyes on Me. Like, Records was doing a lot of numbers. I don't know if he was getting it or not.
Yeah.
But I know, Johnny J wasn't in the studio no more. One day he just stopped coming. You know what I mean? And we had to start, work from scratch. You know what I mean? That's when I started to get into production. Pac started to get into production. We started working with some other producers that was around at that time, like L.T. Hutton, for production. And, a lot of times when we went to the studio, it would really just be us. You know what I mean? Just us up in there. Pac was doing a lot of movie work at the time, so he would be studio to the set, studio to the set. That was pretty much the routine.
Right, because I'm looking at the production on Makaveli. QD3 did a song. He did To Live or Die in L.A. I knew about that.
QD3 was probably the only producer, if I'm correct, that worked both on All Eyes on Me and Makaveli.
What did he do on All Eyes on Me?
He did Heaven Ain't Hard to Find.
Okay. Right. I remember he was telling me a story that as they were working on Makaveli, Tupac called him up one day and said, I'm going to put this out as a free mixtape. I'm going to throw this out. He said he started crying. He's like, no, what are you talking about? He was like, yo, no, what are you talking? Don't do that. Like,
and that was an actual idea, and I think Suge did the same thing. Like, oh, hell no, we ain't giving this out for free. No, sir. And he was serious about that, you know what I mean? Because, that was the East Coast, and the mixtapes was always popular, and he knew, he was kind of ahead of the curve again. Like the precursor to 50, he wanted to just start dropping music on mixtapes. You know what I mean? And get them to the streets, directly to the streets, without any filter.
This is just gonna be a sidebar. This can't be right. When I look at the producers of Toss It Up, it's Reggie Moore and Demetrius Shipp.
Demetrius Shipp, because Demetrius Shipp Jr. Pops co-produced that song, Big Meech.
Okay, so this is actually true.
Yeah, but a lot of people know about this. I don't know.
I don't know about this. You mean to tell me that the guy who played Tupac, his father produced on Tupac's last album?
Yeah, Toss It Up, co-produced it. Absolutely.
Does Demetrius Shipp
I didn't find that out until we started working on the movie myself.
Does Senior look like Tupac?
Not really. Not really.
I can't find a picture of him. And his son he worked with Tupac and his son just happened to look like Tupac?
It's crazy.
Who's the mother?
I don't believe I met her. Mm-hmm. Crazy, right?
That is so crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, listen, in your world, of course, everyone knows about it, right?
Yeah.
In my world, which is outside,
I know you're tripping right now.
I am tripped because I'm like looking at it going like, okay, someone's being funny on
right.
Wikipedia.
Right.
Okay, ha, Demetrius Shipp
totally
produced
found that
it.
out organically. It wasn't like that really just happened. Yeah. Yeah. He definitely tossed it up.
Wow. One of Pac's biggest songs at that. Wow. Okay, then there is
very ironic.
It's beyond ironic. Yeah, there's Hurt 'Em Bad, did a few songs.
Did Hit 'Em Up. I mean, not Hit 'Em Up, Hail Mary.
Hail Mary, yeah. I guess Tupac co-produced Bomb First and Daryl Big D Harper.
Definitely.
Who's all over it. I don't know these producers.
Right.
I'll be honest.
Right.
He went and got, I just assumed that these were some bigger name producers and I just never looked at the track listing. But as I'm going through it, that whole album had a bunch of producers who weren't famous. It seems like before or after. It's not like they went on to have like a bunch of platinum singles and stuff like that. Some of them don't even have Wikipedia pages.
Because his whole attitude was, what I do, I can make this shit happen with just about anybody. So long as you know how to work the machines. You know, we had a guitar player by the name of Ricky Rouse that played bass and guitar. Pac liked to work with him. And he was like, look, so long as you know how to cut that machine on, and I got Ricky Rouse, we gonna make some fucking music. I don't care who in the studio. You know what I mean? He was not about going to the studio and saying, damn, Daz ain't here. You know, Johnny J ain't here, Dre ain't here, what am I gonna do? Oh, it's some niggas in that room over there. Yo, go get them niggas over there. Straight like that.
Like that.
Go get them niggas in the, they used to call it the Wack room. You know what I mean? Honestly, I'm gonna keep it a buck. You know what I mean? But these were all talented musicians, you know what I mean? Daryl Harper played the piano like nobody.
The Wack room.
They used to call it the Wack room, and that's fucked up because what we brought up out of there wasn't whack. You know what I'm saying? What Pac brought up out of there is 5 times platinum.
Right.
Hail Mary, one of the greatest rap songs of all time, came out of the quote unquote Wack room.
Yeah, by Hurt 'Em Bad.
Exactly.
And when I looked up his page, the only other rapper that he's associated with is Willie D.
He's from Chicago, so he's worked with a lot of artists in Chicago. You know what I mean? Obviously, his records haven't reached the success of Hail Mary. You know, that's a hard bar to reach right there. That, like, Pac took one of your beats and did Hail Mary too.
Yeah, but you could really say that if you take out Pac's lyrics and play Hail Mary, the beat by itself, it is not an obvious hit by any stretch of the imagination.
Okay, so that goes back to that songwriting point that we was talking about.
Pac wrote the hell out of that song.
Exactly.
And this is something similar to what I said about Drake, and people are going to run with it the way they usually run with my opinions about music. But what I said was Drake picks relatively average sounding beats, very sparse.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really overpower the vocals. You know, very few of the beats are like, that beat is crazy, right, before you even hear the lyrics. Like, you look at like Tootsie Slide and it's like, okay, it's cool, but what Drake does with it is phenomenal, and he makes hits out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. But the beats themselves are usually non-exceptional.
Right.
You could, outside of, All Eyes on Me, I think, had exceptional beats.
Yep. Some great production on that.
Great production. Great. I mean, the first time I heard I Won't Deny It, I'm a Straight Rider.
Phenomenal.
As soon as you heard that beat come in, you're like, oh, okay, this album about to be serious.
And I'm a hip hop head, so I'm like, yo, this nigga Dad sampled Pee Wee Herman. I knew where them drums came from as soon as I heard the beat.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Because I remember Pee Wee Herman, how big of a record that was in the early 80s. And the dopest shit about Pee Wee Herman, the song, it was a goofy song, but the drums was crazy. You know what I mean? And it would take another hip hop head to, I don't even know Pac knew that right off the bat. But I did, and I knew Daz knew that, because I'm like, sample Pee Wee Herman to make one of the hardest rap records
Yeah.
of all time.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, he wrote the hell out of those beats
Yeah.
and created a classic. Arguably, you know, some people are gonna like All Eyes on Me. Some people are gonna like Makaveli. But I think those are the two that people.
I actually like the production on Me Against the World. That's my favorite Pac album.
Okay.
It's Me Against the World.